Welcome to Face the State. I'm Ariana Bennett. Thank you for joining us. According to the CDC, tooth decay is the most common chronic health condition for children in the United States. An estimated 20% of elementary-aged kids have at least one untreated decayed tooth, and it's twice as common when you look at low-income populations. Now, the problem is that dental issues don't just stay confined to the teeth. They can affect a lot of other aspects of health as well. Well, Dr. Joseph Eberly and Dr. Greg Pisani are here to talk about that with us. Thank you both for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I want to talk about generally early preventative dental care for kids. So important. Can you talk about why that is?
Well, we find that if a parent knows about nutrition and oral health education is part of that, then the child doesn't have to go through the pain and suffering or the missing of school or going to the emergency room. So it's important that we start them off with a good preventive program.
And it's early on too, right? I mean, kids are supposed to get to the dentist when their first tooth emerges.
Right. We actually have now thought about doing a program where we're talking to the pediatricians about having all the children seen by a pediatric dentist by age 1. And that is more for the education of the parent than it is for the treatment of the child. And
that's even though they lose those baby teeth, it still makes a difference. I think I saw somewhere that if they actually lose the baby teeth early because they're decayed, it can make problems for when the adult teeth grow in.
Right. There's orthodontic problems that happen. There's nutrition problems that happen. There's metabolic problems that can happen because of tooth decay.
Yeah, and things like, speech, learning to speak clearly and, not having any speech impediments that can all,
And what it does too, baby teeth are kind of natural orthodontic space maintainers because you got to stay in place so the permanent tooth can come up in their place. If you lose them prematurely and that closes, several things happen. The development of the jaw does not develop normally and the teeth are all crowded. Right. So it becomes a complex problem.
And some habits can seem harmless for parents. I know, putting your kid to bed with a bottle, a bottle of milk or something that can cause tooth decay. Probably a lot of parents don't realize that.
Right. We feel that parent education is a very important part of early, detection, early education for a child.
Now, part of the problem with this is that dental care is a luxury for some people. I mean, some people just can't afford it, especially if they don't have health insurance plans that cover it or insurance at all. Is that something that you guys see often?
Yeah, we do. And the other thing is a gross misunderstanding, and that comes with parent education, is that they feel baby teeth are not worth the effort. And therein lies the problem, because it does a lot of things to them physically and mentally, because that prematurely sets their mindset as to how they're going to take care of their teeth the rest of their life.
Right.
If they don't learn while they're young.
Do you see a lot of low-income families who struggle to pay for it even if they do bring them in?
Definitely. I mean, it is a burden no matter what income level you're at, but really the low-income family has a tough time because they're burdened by other things besides dental care, and if their education is not at a point where they understand how important it is, then that's going to be left to something else that they have to pay bills for.
Right. Okay. Now, this is something that both of you, I know, is close to your heart. I want to talk about the Jason Eberly Memorial Fund. I know it was something you established after the death of your son. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. My son was a pediatric dentist, and he specialized in taking care of children. And he devoted his whole life, especially to the underprivileged children. And he died 7 years ago, and at this particular time, he was up at Elko setting up their hospital program because they asked him to come up. They had a brand new hospital up there, and it was badly needed in the rural areas. So when he passed away, the only recourse I had to keep his legacy alive was to establish some sort of program that we could take care of these underserved children. And like we addressed earlier, sometimes it can be expensive, sometimes they don't have the convenience of going somewhere. So I felt that if we could create this, and this is where Greg's involved, I could somehow work with the Northern Nevada Dental Health Program in concert with my son's benefit. Where I could raise money, and then they would take the money and spend it in the areas that were required to keep their program going. And then Greg can address that.
Yeah, so tell me where the money goes.
I'm the president of the Northern Nevada Dental Health Program, and we're a nonprofit organization in Northern Nevada that is dedicated to treating kids under 18 that don't have the means to seek dental care. And we are managed by, administered by the Community Health Alliance. This all started 20 plus years ago. We have all our dentists do all their treatment in their offices, and it's all done pro bono. We have a group of at least 60, sometimes up to 100 dentists from Northern Nevada that volunteer their time and efforts to treat these children. The children are all screened, and they go through a health education program before they ever reach our offices. But we have spent, produced over $5 or $6 million worth of free dental care since the inception.
Now, the doctors donate their time, I understand.
Yes.
But of course, you still have costs. I mean, supplies cost money. How much money do you need to operate at the level you'd like to operate?
Well, we need as much money as we can possibly raise because we always have more programs. Like I said, we want to do the pediatric program where all the pediatricians can disseminate information to their parents by the child's age 1. So, and we have a sealant program that we've used, and we have more schools that need more sealants. We always need more money because we always have more programs that we can develop for our community.
And probably more and more kids even who need the help.
Yes, definitely. The economy dictates that, and there are more and more children applying for our funding.
Okay, so
To give you an example, I didn't mean to
Yeah,
interfere.
no, go ahead.
But to give you an example, I have set up a program which I'm going to initiate in April at the Boys and Girls Club. They have several thousand children there. And so we're taking one of our portable, for lack of better words, operatories over there, and I'm going to screen these children. And I expect to do 100, 200 a day
Oh my
just to
goodness.
screen them. And then we'll determine, and I'll make suggestions where they should go from there for treatment. Some of them may qualify under the program which Dr. Pizzami's involved in, or we may go directly to Hawk or something like that. But all this has got to start somewhere,
Right.
and that's a level where kids come together in large amounts.
Now, a lot of the time, do you find that these kids have never seen a dentist before? I mean, older kids even.
Yes.
Oh, for sure. I've seen 16, 18-year-olds that are ready to leave high school and they've not seen a dentist.
Wow.
And they're, they're ready to leave the house with no means to ever be able to afford to see, seek care.
Because at that point, you could have escalated to really expensive, serious issues if they've never gotten a cleaning, never gotten sealants.
They start losing teeth. That's what it amounts to when you're 16, 18 years old and you haven't had care. You're going to lose some of your permanent
Yeah.
teeth.
And then you have development problems because you lose teeth early. The jaw doesn't grow properly. You get tongue thrust problems, speech problems. And it develops into a lot of physical as well as mental problems.
So let's talk about raising money, what you guys need. How are you raising this money? Let's talk about the fundraiser you've got coming up.
All right. When my son passed away, again, as I mentioned earlier, I wanted to do something to keep his legacy going and what he was doing for his professional life, as short as it was. So I came up with the idea through some of his friends that we should have some sort of gathering on a yearly basis. So I said, well, a concert sounds great to me. So I didn't know how to start, and somebody gave me a name. His name is Greg London, just handed me the card. And he said, call him. He was playing at Harris. And I called him, and I caught him at the airport. This was just before Christmas. And he's boarding an airplane to France. He has a chateau over there. And I told him about what I wanted to do. And he's kind of listening. And he asked me one thing. He says, what was your son's name? And I said, Jason. And I heard a pause on the other end. He said, that's my son's name. And he says, I'll do it. And that's how that got started.
Wow.
He had my first show and second show. And so the money then that I raised, then I gave it to the Northern Nevada Dental Health Program, and they would administer it to the programs at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And this just kept developing, and it kept getting bigger. And so now we go from the Bartley Ranch Amphitheater, now we're at the Silver Legacy.
Wow.
And that's where we have our concert. We have the Mavericks,
Yeah.
which is a phenomenal group band. They call them a garage country band. But they're the type of people that when you go in to listen to them, if you got any rhythm in your body at all, you can't sit. You got to get up and dance and jump around and
Okay.
yell. So
All right. Now
And
this is coming up too.
this
it's
is coming
coming
up
up
on March
It's
28th,
March
the Saturday.
28th, and still plenty of space if people want to buy tickets.
Yes,
we just
we
have
still have a
about a
couple
minute
hundred
left to
left.
talk about this, so I want to make sure we get the information out there. I think you have a poster. You want to show us your poster?
sure.
So here's all the information. Of course, I will also post it online, but the concert is coming up on March 28th. Wonderful cause. It's going to be raising money for the Memorial Fund, helping kids get dental care, which as we
There's
discussed,
one
is very,
other
very
part of the
important.
program we haven't mentioned.
Right. Oh, real quick, we do want to mention
Veterans.
it does help veterans
Yes,
as well.
we are helping veterans, and what do we have, about 300
We
waiting?
have 300 veterans that need care, and we have dentists willing to do that, but we need to raise money to treat those 300 veterans.
Okay.
They're more expensive than children.
Right. All right. Okay. Well, for all the information on this, we have posted a link for you. You can just head to ktvn.com and click on the news links tab. You can find out where to buy tickets, more information about the concert. Of course, if they want to just donate money, I'm sure you guys will take that as well.
Yes?
Yes, we
Oh,
will.
we're a 501c3, completely tax deductible.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you both
you.
so much for coming on the show.
Thank
I so
you for
appreciate
having
your
us. Thank
time.
you, Mariana.
Best of luck with your event.
You bet.
All right. Coming up on Face the State, the weather is warming up and it's bringing out our local wildlife. I will speak with an expert about how they're handling our bears, coyotes, deer, and even fish after the break.